Hold up.
Who is this?
Uh-oh.
Who is this beautiful woman coming in the studio? What's going on? Keyshia Cole in the building. What? What's going on, girl? How you doing?
Chilling. How y'all doing?
Chilling. I see you with the accessorizing. I see what you're doing. The burgundy.
No, not really.
I see the theme. So what's going on? Now your album dropped last week.
Tuesday. This week.
This week. Okay, I'm sorry. And tell us about the album.
It's cool. You should check it out.
Is it hot?
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite song?
All of them.
You don't have a favorite?
I do. I said all of them. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They're all my favorite. I wrote them, so.
Oh, you did all of it?
Right.
That's what's up.
So I'm not gonna pick and choose.
Did you work with any producers on this one, or?
Scott Storch, Brian Michael Cox. I work with the Runners. I've worked with Missy, Ron Fair, obviously, and Greg Curtis.
What do you want? Like, your debut album was very successful, and now we kind of know who you are. And what did this album? What kind of statement did you want to make with this album?
I don't know what kind I wanted to make, but I just sung from my heart and told the stories I feel, and hopefully that's good enough.
Like, what's so when you do the album, you look at individual songs, was it a whole concept?
I mean, like I said on the reality show, they make up artists and you come up with concepts and you create themes. I'm not really that type of artist. It's just,
you just write what you write, go to the studio,
I write what I feel,
and
I am who I am. So it's just like, okay, this is it. This is what I did. Like,
how was it different than the first one? As far as putting it together, did you have more to say?
I've grown a lot, but that's not enough for you? He's like, okay, and what? What else? More?
So the title, Just Like You, you did it for your fans, just, to kind of identify with them and show them that what you go through is what they're going through?
Well, the reason why I came up with the title for the album is because that is true. I mean, like the reality show, you see a lot of, Keyshia Cole is real. Keyshia Cole is just, I'm just like you. I'm not no different. It's, I'm human, and I learn like people learn, and I mean, it's just the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you've grown more within the last year? Did you think the reality show helped you grow? Because that was really raw. You know what I'm saying? The reality show was really raw. A lot of people connected with you with that reality show. They identified with you, and I think your fan base grew from that reality show. Do you think that was a good move? Or,
I don't think that it grew, no.
No?
Mm-mm. I think that because I was already at 1.5 when the reality show came out, and I didn't sell any more records.
You didn't sell any more records after the...
No.
Or you don't think your fans identified with you or connected with you more?
I'm not saying that they didn't identify with me more, but I'm saying that my fan base did not grow anymore. The people who had already bought the album had watched the reality show. Yeah. So.
You happy doing what you do?
It's work. It's definitely, when you get into the realness of it, it becomes not to be fun no more, no.
So you're not happy?
I didn't say I wasn't happy. No, I didn't say that. I'm definitely happy. I love doing what I do, but it's... There,
now you answered. There you answered. You didn't answer last time.
What I said?
You didn't say you were happy. You just said you're happy just then.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't feel like you're happy. It feels right now it feels like this is a chore for you to come on the radio and talk about what you do.
It's working.
It's like
working.
You're on the radio to promote your product and do your thing. It sounds like you don't want to be here.
But you travel, and it's really hard work. You get up early in the morning, you go to sleep late at night. Bottom line. Right. And that's just the way it is. And especially for a singer, it's a bit more different than rapping.
So with the fans that are listening right now who love you, what do you want to say to them?
I love them too. They know that though. Me and you is a different thing, but they know that I love them. I travel and I do everything that I can.
How's it a different thing? Do you know if I'm a fan or not of Keyshia Cole?
I don't know. No.
I do. I am. I love you and I'm rooting for you.
Thank you.
And I want you to put your best foot forward, and it feels like you don't want to.
What you mean?
It feels very. There's a lot of animosity in the room. You feel like forced to be here, and it's like I want you to know we love you. We love you and support you. So this is your place to be relaxed and let your head down. And this is a place where, where people are like, dying to hear you and see your voice, see your face, and hear what you had to say. And I just like, as somebody who is a fan and who can hear, to me, a young person who's learning the business, a young person who's growing every day. I want you to put your best foot forward. But what I'm hearing is, I feel like resistance, and I'm like, I want you to know that there's no need to have resistance here. We're here in support of you. We're here to big you up, and that's what we're about. We're not trying to tear you down or anything. It's like we want you to understand that. And it just felt like when you came from the point you came in, it felt like, wow, it's like almost like a hassle to be on. And I don't want your fans to feel that way either. The people who are listening, like, man, I can't wait to see you or hear.
I'm sorry you feel that way, sir. But I do love my fans. I really do.
Cool. Well, that's good. Well, we appreciate you, girl. Thank you. Album dropped on Tuesday. Pick it up. And are we going to do any other stuff, like any movies, or can we look out for you on the?
Actually, I just did an MTV film called The Way She Moves. Okay. And it's gonna be premiering in January.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much,
Keyshia
Cole, joining us on the Big Fat Morning Show. 92 Kid Jams, most hip hop and R&B Big Fat Morning Show. And hey, it's me, Mark Clark, on the Big Fat Morning Show on Nikki's show. And why am I here? I'm here because we had a chance to talk with Keyshia Cole, at the last minute before our show ended. And I got to give it to you, Keyshia. It was like we had a conversation, we got off the air, and you weren't necessarily happy with how it ended, and you wanted to talk about it. And I appreciate you because in our interview I was saying, I was asking, were you happy? And I felt like your energy was this and that. At the end of the day, you didn't necessarily know that you're supposed to hop on the show. You didn't know exactly what was going on here. So you were kind of put in a situation where, you didn't know exactly what was going on. And me being the father that I am, the old man, sometimes I was like, like you said, I put it out there like, hey, I feel this way. And I appreciate you had the courage to be like, you know what? It's my image. I wasn't happy with how that ended. And I want Baltimore to know how much I love them and also to know where I'm coming from also. So you just pulled in. Keyshia was coming from D.C. You barely, you weren't going to be on the show, but you barely got in, and I kind of made comments. But, you wanted to kind of address that.
I mean, I didn't even know some of the things that happened yesterday with, you said it was cameras here and things like that.
Yeah, there was a promotion. There was a promotion that we promoted that you would do the afternoon show. And, we have, again, the cameras and the people were here. And so what happens in our business a lot of times, and we see this a lot with artists, you guys are so protected. You got the record label on one hand, you got management on the other hand. And a lot of times as an artist, you don't know exactly what's going on. You just go where they tell you to go.
That's exactly why
if you're
I
in
need
DC,
everything scheduled. That's why I tell them to give me a schedule of everything that I have to do so that I can prepare myself so I can go to these places and I can look up to par and I can, feel right about myself when I go, because I have to represent myself well. I'm a businesswoman and I'm a young lady also. But for, situations like this happen where I didn't even know that kind of situation was supposed to occur, it kind of takes me into a predicament where I come on your show and you tell me your perception of me or what you think I'm being like when it's actually, something that happened without my knowledge.
Exactly. And I apologize.
No, it's all good because I've been to D.C. a couple of times and plenty of times, and I've been to the club when it was only 100 people there, and I performed in front of all 100 of these people.
Yes, you did, and you gave it up.
But now, of course, the crowd is bigger and the audience is bigger here in D.C., and I worked hard for that. Mm-hmm. Me, myself, nobody else can make me work. Only I can make me work.
That's true. And actually, I was at that performance, and like I said, when I ask about your fans, because I'm a fan, and what made me a fan and what I love about you, and the same thing I think why people compare you to Mary J. is that there's a realness that comes through that you can just hear and feel. And that night, it's Baltimore, D.C. area, so actually this is Baltimore and D.C. just up the road. But that night when you performed here in Baltimore with, like you say, less than 100 people, and you gave us everything you got, that's when I fell in love with you. Right. And I just want, again, when you're on earlier, I wanted you to understand that, whatever happened, that, we are rooting for you and we love you. And in these moments, we want you to put your best step forward. And at the same time, like you say, you can't help it when people don't tell you exactly where you're supposed to be. So from a standpoint
of, it makes me look bad.
Those people so Keyshia Cole did not show up. She was not aware of her scheduled so-called scheduled
appearance
promotion
here yesterday.
So we got to put that behind.
And there was no way that I could have been here because yesterday morning I drove from New York City after my after party the day before. So I left and got on the road about 4:30 in the morning because I had 2 after parties in New York City.
Wow.
So I left and went straight to D.C. and got there about 9:30 in the morning and had to go straight, and get ready for the in-store and everything that I did out down there, and hopefully get some rest, because I want to be well rested just in case I have to do anything. And then I had an after party last night. So for like how would that fit into the schedule as well?
Exactly.
Like I didn't quite understand that when you just told me that. And